Hello Sagittarius, this is your extended reading. So, are you ready for story time? Because I feel like you are the storyteller in this extended. It feels like, remember when I said in the first part where this magician, well, you are, in a sense, this magician as an entertainer for whomever you're helping, right? And you're doing so by telling a story. This is what is coming through in the extended, this entertainment that you're doing. It's almost like you're doing so in order to help them see that they can build their own bridge out of a tough situation, right? And in a very solid, firm, and very stable kind of way. So I feel like this extended, you're showing them how you did it. You're telling them how you did it, how you came to the place where you are right now. That it is very abundant. It is very wealthy. It is very rich, right? But not only rich of money, although yes, there is also money with the Nine of Pentacles. But I feel like it's more you feeling good with yourself, right? Just knowing who you are and knowing your worth. So we begin this extended with 2 cards instead of 1. So just to emphasize how this is a storytelling, and it's almost like the beginning and the end. It's almost this it's like once upon a time when I was a fool. No. It's just like this kind of, you see the beginning and the end in a sense. Not that this is the end, but just the present moment, which is represented by the 10 of Cups, is the place where you are now, completely fulfilled, completely happy, completely, feeling good with yourself, as I said, emotionally fulfilled, having everything that you need, that you desire, that you wished for there for you, living your dream. This is something that also came through in the Leo reading, living your dream, right? Or a dream come true. So, but this is actually a little bit different because this is you telling this Page of Swords the story of how you started, right? As a fool, as a beginner, as a student, as a no one, in a sense, not diminishing you, but it's like what I'm seeing with this fool is like you didn't have anything, you didn't carry anything, right? You didn't have any weight on you. You were a really light traveler, right? You didn't have any baggage, which actually was the perfect thing, because since you didn't have anything to lose. And so whatever trail you went on, right, it was just an open space for you to receive. And being where you are now today, completely fulfilled and blessed, right, with all of this emotional abundance is how it's coming through. It's almost like starting like a fool, I don't know, way back in time, right? When this story that you're telling begins. So it's like it was the perfect situation, right? You had to start as a fool. You had to have courage. You had to take this leap, right? And what I'm getting now is like, here, you didn't know that you would accomplish everything that you desired. But in a sense, achieving this was what kept you going, right? This was almost like the unconscious motivation. But it's beautiful because I feel like somehow it wasn't all glitter and glimmer, right? It wasn't everything so easy. I feel like there was a lot of juggling. Actually, with the 2 of Pentacles coming after the Fool and the 10 of Cups, I feel like, as I said, you started out in the beginning way back in the past, right? Before becoming this King of Wands, you started as a Fool, and as I said, a very light traveler, carrying very little. And by little, I mean very little, right? The bare minimum, the essential items. Because what I'm seeing here is a very simple kind of life in a very practical sense, right? Maybe a very simple and simple in a way that there were no luxuries, right? So, and you dealt with it, you juggled it you perfected this juggling with whatever you had, right? And so I feel like somehow you did it in a very, I'm sorry, Sagittarius, my phone just cut the video in the middle, and my storage is full, so I had to delete a few videos. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Where were we? So we were here with the Two of Pentacles and followed by the Knight of Cups. But so, here you were trying to juggle your practical life and doing so very smartly, right? With the Fool, taking, very accountable risks, very little risks actually is how I'm seeing, because you didn't need much. This is how I'm sensing. You didn't need much. And I feel like when this Knight of Cups came in, maybe this was an opportunity, or maybe this was a person that came along your path while you were, just dealing with life. I feel like somehow you weren't expecting this approach. You weren't expecting to live this situation so soon. It feels like it's, because here with the Two of Pentacles coming out of the Fool, I feel like you didn't feel quite ready, perhaps, to have a relationships, perhaps to be approached by someone else, into your juggling, that you had perfected it because it was just yourself. And so I feel like the response that you gave to this Knight of Cups, perhaps it was, an offer that you received, was the Seven of Swords. And so I feel like here there was a little bit of defensiveness of your part. And remember, this is the story of where you came to where you are right now, right? Where you started and how you got to the place of wealth and well-being that you are. But I feel, as I said, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. There were phases where you closed yourself. I feel like, because, also because in the first part you came very independent with the Nine of Pentacles. And, all of these cards for you, they're very independent. They're very individualistic. They're very self-centered, but not in a bad way, just in a way that you were trying to figure out who you are. And by doing so, you weren't expecting others or another to come into your life and distract you from whatever you had going on at the time, right? And so I feel like if you had an opportunity or an offer, even if it was like a business opportunity, but I feel like with the Knight of Cups, perhaps it was an offer of love, right? Of a partnership, of a relationship, that you didn't feel like it was right at the time because you didn't have much to offer them, and you had already enough in your plate that you couldn't deal with more, right, than what you already had. And so you closed off that door. It's what I'm seeing with the Seven of Swords, right? It's like you thickening a little bit your boundaries. But the interesting thing is that by doing so, by being precautious enough to, just keep going on your path without distractions, I feel like somehow you were led to this High Priest, this, I keep saying High Priestess when is the Hierophant. It happened actually the other day too. Anyway, so the Hierophant. This Hierophant is coming through as your higher self. It's almost like this higher entity or this over soul of yours that you, in order to, you know, to close off the doors to whichever opportunity that appeared along your way, you had to consult your higher self first, right? This is coming through as this cautious move of yours, right? So it's actually good. It's actually coming through as really smart. Didn't I say that? You are very smart, Sagittarius. And I feel like, you know, by consulting this one, this higher self, this wiser or more expensive, it's almost like your higher self, right, or whatever is represented by the Hierophant. It's just, it feels like this higher knowledge that you have direct access to, perhaps as a teacher, perhaps as, you know, someone that you look up to, and just gives you advice that you actually listen to. But this is coming because I'm seeing you very independent today, Sagittarius. So it's coming through more as higher self, as you know, closing the doors to outside opportunities, to other people, silencing the voices or the noises outside of yourself in order to listen to your inner voice, right? And ask for guidance. This is an active asking of help, right? For help. So in a sense, this is very wise, and I feel like you have, it's coming through as, you know, a specific someone that approached you, and you being super cautious with them and just reaching out for help from your higher self, right? Asking for guidance. But I feel like somehow it's almost like these were runs, right? You were doing so with every new opportunity that came your way along your path. You know, you were just taking day by day, fulfilling your responsibilities, your immediate responsibilities, very simply but very efficiently, and whichever new opportunity that came your path, I feel like you all, the first thing that you always done, it's always been, you know, connecting to your higher self first. So closing the doors, you know, receiving the offer, closing the doors, reaching to your higher self, asking for guidance. What should I do? And this is beautiful because for this particular one, or this situation in your past, or this offer of a relationship or of a partnership, that in the first moment you said no, I feel like in consulting with your higher self, what they said was, you can believe in them. What came through with the Ace of Wands, you know, you being the King of Wands, this is legit. The phrase that came with the Ace of Wands for you today, Sagittarius, actually from your higher self, right? When you were asking for guidance about this situation, they were telling you, this is legit. You know, they're not playing around. This, it has content, it has depth, it has really good intentions behind, right? And so I feel like somehow, even though you were closed off, I feel like you do, with the Five of Pentacles following, it's almost like you stop juggling for a second, right? You stop your track. It's like you stop on your track, right? You just, it's like you were moving along even though you were receiving opportunities and people trying to come into your life, and specifically this one, when this one came along, you did the exact same thing. You stopped, you closed off, but you kept going while you were consulting with your higher self, with the Hierophant, right? And then when you received the answer about, yes, this offer is legit, you can believe them, I feel like you stop and you reach, you know, as I said, I don't know if I said it already, but if you've seen other of my videos, you'll know that this card for me represents the X on a mark, the X mark on a map, right? So it's this perfect place for you to be. And so you have to hold yourself steady just for a second, right? Because it feels to me like throughout your path, you were going non-stop, right? With the Fool. But in order to receive this offer and to see what else they're presenting, right? You have to stop for a little bit. And so, and as I said in the beginning, this is all something that you're telling this one, right? So this is the story of your life, basically, that you're summarizing and you're telling in a very entertaining kind of way, to show how you made it, right? And so when you get to this point of having clear guidance from your higher self that you can trust this partner, perhaps, right? Or this helper or this friend, that it is legit, I feel like it's almost like you're growing roots, right? It's almost like you have found the place for you to grow roots. And this is actually so beautiful because the bottom of the deck, it's coming with the Emperor, which is you, right? So it feels to me like you have found the place because you have followed the guidance of your higher self, and it led you to this place of wealth, of abundance, of knowing your territory, of knowing exactly where to plant your roots, where to settle down, right? And this is gorgeous because I feel like it's not only abundance and, you know, financial wealth, it's also emotional fulfillment. So this is beautiful because this is you telling the story of your life, and by doing so, you're not only entertaining whoever needs your help, and you're also showing how others are capable of doing the same, right? Or maybe this one, right? You're doing so in such a beautiful kind of way, in such inspiring. It's almost like you have the ability to just remember, as I said here, you're inspiring them for them to build their own bridge, as you did also when you found the place to settle down, to just, you know, build your roots there, and just build your empire, really, right? And so here I'm going to pull from the Astrological Runes. So let's see what they have as a final guidance for you, Sagittarius, after this beautiful, beautiful message. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, so I already get it. So the rune that came through is Taurus, the sign of Taurus. And although Taurus is an earth sign, right, and you're a fire sign, what the final guidance is saying, it's almost like this, the last piece of advice, that it's not only coming from the runes to you, Sagittarius, it's almost like this is the final piece of advice that you are giving to this Page of Swords, and which feels to me like the most important, which it's like this key element, right? This key factor to achieving such wealth, to achieving such abundance, which is determination. keep going. You know, do not give up. Taurus is a sign that is well known for its determination, right? When it has something on its mind, they don't just give up. They just persist and they keep going. They continue walking, even though it could be hard, even though there will be obstacles, even though there will be offers that you don't know if you can trust or not, right? But you know, this is the last piece of advice that maybe it's for you. It's a reminder that you have done it already. You are really determined. You're consistent with your ideals, you know, with your own path. And so this is why you achieved such place of authority, you know, such rich and abundant empire. And so this is what you're telling them. Just whatever you choose to do, whatever path you choose, just keep going. You know, it will become solid, right? But you have to just walk it. So this is very beautiful and very, you know, it's strengthening you and them actually by listening to you telling them this. So I hope this was insightful or helpful in any way. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.